Hi Exiles! Today I will quickly show you how my Reave Ranger works in the 1.3.0 Path of Exile patch in the new Hardcore League Bloodlines. I'm 87 at the moment and I feel I'm doing really good so far. I'm doing pretty much any kind of high level maps. This build is also very budget friendly. Until I got my Binos, which is really not required for the build, the most expensive piece of gear I got was a carcass jack, which is now 20 chaos in Bloodlines and will only go down in price. The general idea behind my build is that evasion melee was severely nerfed in many ways in 1.3.0. First of all, you now can't go acrobatics and block, since the acrobatics keystone now gives you 30% less block chance, so you can't go both. Secondly, crit was nerfed, and finally, Bloodlines is actually known to be a non-melee friendly league. So I figured I would do a crit acrobatics non-block melee ranger just to see how it goes. And since I'm still doing really good, feeling fairly tanky and doing a pretty decent amount of DPS, I guess the nerfs were well deserved. This character is fast paced, pretty fun to play, and is a good middle ground between no brain no aim faithful specs like Arc, for example, and stressful gotta be aware 100% of the time specs. You are melee, so you have to be careful, but your AoE and your damage allows you to be quite safe too. I don't claim to bring something crazy new when it comes to build theory crafting. I'm just showing here how you can play a spec that is supposed to be nerfed to the ground. What are the pros for this build? In my opinion, as I said, this build is pretty budget friendly. It's budget friendly really. You can get efficient gear with a few chaos to 1 or 2 exalts. You don't need the Binos, you don't need the carcass jack to play this build, but these uniques of course are a good quality of life, but they are not required. This build is also very fun and very effective. And as I said too, it's fairly tanky. The cons, however, is that you have to be careful about physical reflect as we don't spec into Val Pact. Val Pact is really effective against reflect, but with good flash and brain usage, even without Val Pact, this is more than manageable, I guess. Secondly, you can't do Exile with that build in its current state in hardcore. You will get insta-gapped by spells. You don't have any spell block anymore, remember that. How the build works when it comes to offense is that we are using Reave and Reave as our main offensive skills. The goal is to achieve maximum area of effect to wipe all the screen out. Reave can get up to 8 stacks and Reave go up to 16 stacks. With good mobility and positioning, you will be able to sustain these stacks from packs to packs in well crowded maps. That will give you insane clear speed. It also allows you to engage certain packs, especially the difficult ones, in a more tactical way, since 8 Reave stacks don't force you to go at pure melee range. But once again, you have to be fast in order to do that, since Reave stacks don't last very long. Our curse is Assassin's Mark since we are going crit, and concerning damage, we are going full physical. How the build works when it comes to defense is evasion. Our main source of defense is evasion through gear and the Grace aura. We add to that 3 defensive keystones that give us dodge chances and extra chance to evade projectile attacks. I will get to that in the passive 3 section of this guide. Surprisingly enough, even if you have to stay aware of what is surrounding you, you will be able to face tank a lot of incoming damage in high level maps with this build. Up until now, I didn't get a lot of close calls, and most of them were caused by Bloodlines mechanics that are new to the game, so unknown to me until now. Now concerning the passive tree. The passive tree is pretty simple. It goes around 3 main keystones. So on this guide, where it gives you double chance to evade projectile attacks, acrobatics will give you 30% chance to dodge attacks, and phase acrobatics which gives you 30% chance to dodge spell damage. These are your main keystones and they are mandatory for your defense. Since you don't go block as evasion, you have to go with acrobatics, phase acrobatics and on this guide. You put that with your base evasion and you will be tanky as hell. Not crazy godlike tanky, but you will be tanky enough to do high level maps. So with Grace on at the moment, I'm sitting at around 16k evasion, so I have 55% chance to dodge to evade attacks against it's difficult formula, so it's against mobs of my level with what the accuracy is supposed to be, but against bosses, of course, it's not that high. Uh, and so with Under's Guide, it puts the chance to evade projectile attacks at like the evade cap, which is 95%. So TT bitches and things like that, archers and all that jazz, you evade them all the time. So you have pretty good defenses. For the leveling, you're of course starting here as ranger. You're grabbing evasion and life, attack speed, life here. Then you're going through the shield nodes here with melee damage with shield. You're getting the life, Hunter's Guide, and you're going up here, taking acrobatics. Keep phase acrobatics when you starting maps. You don't have to get it straight away. Then you're going up for the shadow, getting melee damage here, life, crit, power charges, life here with blood drinker for the lich. Here dagger nodes, life and dagger nodes. For late game, I chose to go that way to grab more life with 3 points spent here. It's more efficient if you're going that way and grabbing the life here, and then you are just you are closer to more crit nodes here. But it's only if you planning to play this build like level until level 93, something like that, which I don't plan to do. So I needed more life straight away with 3 points here. Here you're spending 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points to get the life here, and then you have crit here. So it's 5, 8 and 11 points. Here it's 3 plus 4, it's 7 points. So if I respect all here, then going here, I think it's like level 90, 91 for me, something like that. But I don't plan to play this character more than 1 or 2 level. So yeah. Of course, these life nodes evasion nodes are important too. The last nodes I took with this character until now are these ones, so 87, 86, 85, 84. It's physical damage, crit chance, accuracy, and attack speed here. When it comes to the gear, as I told you, I have a Beano's kitchen knife, but it's not required for the build. You can do very good with a crafted weapon. I will show you my old dagger here. So that's an ambusher. I level 77. I put flaring on it, so the T1 flat physical roll with alterations. Then I augmented that attack speed roll. I wiggle life gain on kill, whatever, and I crafted 70% increased physical damage with vegan. That dagger is roughly 230 plus 230 physical DPS, so it's enough to do well in mid-high tier maps. But of course, Beano's is better. Beano's is also really good in new leagues because you don't have 350 physical DPS dagger available on the market. So Beano's is a guaranteed, warranted good dagger that will carry you up until the end of your build. So Beano's is not, when it comes to pure DPS, it's not really higher than that dagger, because it's roughly 230 physical DPS, but you have crazy crit roll, crit multiplier, and the dot mechanics on top of that. So it's really good. Uh, I'm sitting at 17,000 DPS with Reave without power charges, and with power charges I'm almost at 22,000 physical DPS. When it comes to crits, I have 60.5% chance to crit, and with power charges I'm roughly at 85% chance to crit, so it's pretty crazy. Um, for the rest of the gear, you just get all evasion gear everywhere. Here, this helmet is pretty good, pretty decent. For your shield, just focus on evasion. Get a 1000 plus evasion shield like this one. Um, the chest, it's a carcass jack, and it's one of the reasons why you need to get a big evasion roll on your shield, because carcass jack is always going around 700 evasion, so you can't rely on your chest to obtain a lot of evasion. 700 is just okay-ish, but you need more, so you need a lot of evasion on your shield. Full evasion on the gloves with a little of life leech, so it's 3% combined with blood jinker, it's enough. And here the boot with movement speed. Wrist Exile for the physical damage, and the best of course is to get diamond rings on both ring slots here. I needed to keep that topaz for the resistances, but that topaz is decent as it gives me also flat physical damage and accuracy. Um, yes, for the DPS on your gear, physical damage of course is really good, and try to get accuracy on some pieces, so you have a decent chance to hit your enemy. So try to get some accuracy on your helmet. Here I have some on this garbage amulet, but that is doing the job, and I have accuracy here too, so on 3 pieces, and it's enough. Um, for the gems, as I told you, I'm using Reave with multi-strike, faster attacks, melee physical damage, and power charge on critical. Power charge on critical is really useful, so you don't have to worry about your power charges. They will be always up, and it's really good for your DPS since you're critting more, and it's really good for your defense since more crit means more crowd control, since you will be freezing everything. So at 6th link I will suggest increased crit damage. For Val Reave, I'm using increased crit damage, faster attacks, and melee physical damage. Multi-strike would be better here, but yeah, it's not optimal, but when I will get a new multi-strike gem, I will put it there. I'm using here for mobility blood magic with Welling Blades and faster attacks, and I also link here Assassin's Mark with blood magic, so I can curse. As you can see, I don't have a lot of unreserved mana. It's enough to cast Reave, but it's not enough to cast you curse and then attacking. So through mana leech you will always get your mana back, even if you're attacking crazy fast with 0.16 with a second and mana cost is 25, but yeah, mana leech is enough to keep your unreserved mana full all the time. I should get cast when damage taken, immortal call, and the ring cry increase duration setup here, but for that you need 4 reds, so I need a hybrid evasion armor piece of gear, which I don't have, but for now I'm doing fairly good without that setup, so I'm not in a hurry for that. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the flask. I'm using a Ruby Flask of Warding. It's 50-50 between Ruby and Topaz, since Erad of the Obelisk in Bloodlines are pretty dangerous for melee characters. So I chose Ruby because a lot of incoming DPS in Path of Exile. Dangerous DPS is fire-based, but Topaz is also an option. Granite Flask is for the physical damage that you can't dodge nor evade. Um, for example, Evangelist, when I see Evangelist, I pop my Granite, or Reflect, or also Reflect Physical, I like to pop my Granite too. It's just for an extra safety. Quicksilver Flask of the Adrenaline, of course, Sitting Divine Life Flask, and Eternal Flask of Staunching for remove reading. For the Bandit, and that would be my final point, you're getting life from Oak in normal, you're helping Oak. In Cruel, you could get attack speed, I don't take that, so helping Cretin. Um, I feel that the only builds that really benefit from that are elemental base build, but you can take it. I mean, 8% attack speed is not a total waste. It's like that node is 8% also. So passive point, 8% attack speed for Reave is pretty much the same. So it's up to you. And in Merciless, you're helping Alira for the extra power charge. So we are at 5 power charges with the passive tree and Alira. Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you will enjoy the build.